thank God. Is this the time when the magic happens, John? Are we live now?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm a fact finder, and I'll remind you, believe when I say I researched this all day, but we a two-sided pod.
That's us.
You need to rebut all I say with all of your ragings. Tell me why I got red hair and ginger pubes. Tell
You
me
do.
why you bitch and moan, it's all you do. Now it's time to get drunk and go on stereo.
That's us.
That's the two-sided way. That's the two-sided way.
It just keeps getting better and better every time, all the time, anytime, most of the time. That's just fantastic. Hey, stop sharing your screen there, TurboTax. Hey, does everyone see all the things do I see your toolbar and all your links at the top of your screen for all the porn sites you were going to? Sideboob.org, whitehouse.yum.
Yeah.
All those weird
I did
ones.
that for you. That's for you.
Okay. Gingersarpeople2.edu. Like, is that really a school?
Don't worry about it.
I'm an educator. I'm one of the founding members. Not only am I a member, I'm the president. Welcome to the Ginger Club for Men, where you too can find your place in this horrible, horrible, cruel world.
Welcome one and all.
No longer shall you be put down and afraid for your lack of pigment, your freckles, your see-through translucent skin. Everyone likes to count your heartbeat as it goes because they can see it across the pool. Boom, 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 boom. No longer shall you have to be the scorn, the ridicule, the butt of all the ginger jokes of the soulless orphans in the world, John. No longer! Because of the Ginger Club for Gingers, we are here to support you.
And I appreciate your support.
Thank you, man, because we're going to get a 501c3 if we get 4 more gingers to say they appreciate it. Like, we're going to be a nonprofit, and then we can sign off into community service. So
I don't think you actually have to have 5 gingers for a 501c3. It's not the same thing.
No. I got the 1, then I got the 0, and I'm going to get the 5, and I'm working backwards. And then I'm going to line them up when I do my application. And they're like, tax exempt. And then everyone does community service at the Ginger Club for Gingers. It's like a speakeasy, but it's only called a speakeasy because no one listens. Gingers are notorious for not listening, so it's called more of a yell loudly club. Come on in! Ah! Gingers! Ba-boom, ba-boom, ba-boom.
Why do you think the Irish yell so much? Come on.
I don't know. Listen, lad, it's because we haven't had a club yet for the Gingers. No, that's Scotto. Don't know what you're doing. Well, John says that we all support them. Sometimes we wear our proud kilts on St. Patrick's Day because we are all brothers in arms. Are we not? Aye, we are. Aye.
Hey, are we doing a show or
I think
what?
we actively are doing a show. John, I don't know what you're doing, but I put on a whole costume. I did my hair, my makeup. Look at this. Look at my fingers and toes.
Your beard is fake.
I know you can't see them right now, but my toes are doing this. What about now? How about now? Yeah, bullshit, John. Let's do a shot and start this goddamn show. I got places to be, people to impress, authorities to ridicule, and make me wonder about my life choices. Shall we?
Sounds good. I'm gonna bang out these messages while we're at it.
Do it.
Do it.
You were kind of there, Pete. I got to see you. It was almost like you were there with us. One of these days, fellas, we will break bread in the same room.
Fuck yes.
So help me, goddess?
Yep.
God? Yep. She's a girl. Anyway.
I was gonna say green goddess.
My God, I got goosebumps over here. I am so excited that you're using that for your opening. I love Mr. B. I love you guys so much.
See, we keep it in the family. Like people like, well, not only that we keep it in the family, but we're cheap as shit and we refuse to do any production ourselves. So what anyone else can send to the party, we're gonna take it and we're like, listen to this. We're gonna give credit, but we're going to use it.
I like your t-shirt, the Cobra Kai.
Yeah.
She just earned that spray in Fortnite. The Cobra Kai spray.
Hell yeah.
In Fortnite. Pretty badass. You look amazing in yellow, by the way.
Oh, thanks. It brings out my jaundice. It's very, very good. My liver says thank you. That's not true. I was doing a lot of, I went through a bunch of clothes and stuff because I was trying to be an adult and clean. Like that's a thing. Whatever. And I was like, oh, look at these clothes and look at these clothes and look at these clothes. There were some things that were like, oh no, it's like you shrunk your entire, but there's some that you're swimming in that are just like, oh, you're out here, like you can't even. So I'm like, okay. I found 2 pairs of long pants, bro. I was so excited. I was like, oh, dude, long pants, brand new, like in the bag with the tags, with the fucking receipt. Size 40 and size 42. I was like, okay, maybe they'll fit. Maybe they'll fit. Nope. And I put on another pair of shorts. I'm like, I wear layers at this point. I don't give a shit. But I can't in good conscience even try that. So this is where I found this shirt. I also found the other one. The next time we do it, I know, but see, I can't wear it because then it's going to be a bad logo for us. The one that's two Uzis. Or it's 2 Mac 10s, and around it says all the arms I need. Because I'm not a guns person, but I think it's fucking funny as shit because the t-shirts that people were wearing, and it was back in like 2008, 2007. It was like the moms, and it was like a baby's hands and the mom, big arms, and it was like all the arms I need, and it was anti-gun slogans, and it was the arms on arms. And I was like, that's funny as shit. It's like all the arms I need.
Hey, we here love satire and irony. I had a shirt that was the Mission Accomplished shirt. That was the most comfortable shirt in the world. I love to wear it. It just got to be a point I just couldn't anymore.
Bro, dude, okay. I have the same thing, but I wasn't ironic. I wanted, my mom thinks she's funny. My mom is funny. But she's funny in a mom kind of way. And she likes to get me like, ha, 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 ha. Here's funny cards and funny shirts. And it's like it's funny. Like my other shirt is ironed. Like, what? Like, okay. But she has gotten me some good ones. But the one she fucking punked me on because she was like, what do you want for your birthday? I was like, I want a Sherman jersey for Seahawks back when he was playing, because it was back 3-4 years ago.
Right. Yeah.
Richard Sherman, great, just unbelievable. Anyway, so here comes my birthday. She buys me a shirt. It's bright blue, and I was like, oh, okay, it's going to be a Seahawks something. It's William Tecumseh Sherman, the Civil War general who burned his way back to the sea as he was retreating, with his quote underneath. It's a picture of him, and a quote was like, oh my God, okay, that's fucking hilarious, but where am I going to wear that, Mom? Like, I am done with Civil War reenactments. I mean, I'm growing the beard out, but it's more for medieval biblical things right now. Like, I'm not into the Civil War. I say, make biblical love, make the biblical water into wine, but not the Civil War reenactments. So, but I'm with you. You ready?
Yeah,
folks,
I got new shot glass. This is a Wild and Free from Michigan.
Nice. Look at that. Dude, is that their logo, their little logo thing?
That's
their
thing,
motto, Wild and Free.
Yeah, and then that's the state.
With the arrow through it.
Yeah, totally.
Because of the native. Shout out to natives. Cheers.
That's right.
Shout out to Michigan. All right, everybody. Drink if you got them.
Cheers. Well, howdy.
Oh, God. Oh,
I'm John L. Peacock from Brooklyn, New York, currently in Michigan.
And I'm my boy Pete in Southern California, currently out of my goddamn mind.
And you're listening to Two Sided, where every episode I challenge Pete with a bit of the two sides of life, the fun and the serious.
That's right, folks, and I accept that challenge. It's the right and the wrong. There is no challenge. It's just me expressing what is correct and what is not. The me and the John L. Peacock.
Hi.
Hi, everybody. It's awful when you're on camera. Like, I got to make my picture smaller because I see my face, and no one needs that. No one needs
Speaking on camera, if you're listening, we are live on YouTube this and every Thursday on our YouTube channel, Two Sided Podcast. And you can catch us many other places on audio. But hey, see these funny mugs. They're great. They're pretty.
That's right, John. We are pretty. We are something special. We are a sight to behold. Our mothers are proud. Our fathers are distressed that we're dressed this way. It's very, very specific to our upbringing. Folks, we are on YouTube. We are every Thursday. We have our live shows on Thursday. They are, if you subscribe to our channel, if you hit that like button, if you hit that alert button, if you hit that I'm not sure button, which I'm actively pushing for with the YouTube community. It was like, I'm not sure. Just give me something. Give me a demographic. But just since there's not one now, hit that subscribe button and we'll figure it out. We'll switch you over once you get it all sorted out. Anyway.
Once you're less sure, right.
Correct. Yeah, you can always unsubscribe. It's just like woodwork. Measure once, cut twice, because you can always make it smaller.
Or Maxwell House. You can always unsubscribe.
Yeah, right. I was going to say it's like Columbia House where we stole CDs as children. I don't know.
Hey, let's jump right into our first lightning round.
Lightning round! Time to get down! Lightning round! Oh, yeah! Oh, yeah! Oh, yeah! This guy.
This guy. I love when he comes around and I love when he leaves.
Right. Hate to see you come. Love to watch you go. Bye-bye now. Call me if you need me. We won't. Okie dokie. This guy. Whatever.
Well, anyone who's anyone knows that our first lightning round of the episode is always a standard Q&A. Pete, are you ready for the questions?
I am set. I've been chomping at the bit for these, John. I've been wondering what's taking you so long, so let's get to it, my friend.
Fantastic. First question is, what's the best thing about spring?
If you have a lot of them, it makes your bed better, and they always bounce back to their normal positions.
In reference to maybe the season?
Oh! And that's where we are now, right? March, April.
We are, weirdly enough.
John, why are you going to be so current in everything? Why can't we talk about the winter of our discontent or something better? Anyway,
well,
see how I did that?
Glorious Summer by the Son of York.
I know. Do you see how we did that? We're bringing Shakespeare into the seasons that we're talking about now. Folks, if you like what you see, if you can't believe this conversation is actively happening live, hit that subscribe button. Tell your friends. Tell your parole officer. Just tell someone.
Yeah, but screw fall.
Oh, no, bro. I'm 100% the opposite way. Spring is the beginning of the end. Spring is where it's just like, you can't really wear a hoodie anymore. And you have to be outside. It's like, oh, and then it's about to be fire season here in California, and like 110 degrees every day. Yeah, that shit is like it's the beginning of the end. Oof.
Yeah, it's so funny.
I look for. No, I was going to say at that point, I'm just saying how hot it is. The upcoming months of summer, I start looking for seasonal work at Ben and Jerry's or Baskin Robbins, so I can just stock the walk-in for like 9 to 5, just for that month and a half.
I have a Canadian friend who literally has the opposite, because coming from Arizona, you're right. I love the fall because it's leading into the good season. It is the good season. You know, winter's a little chilly in Arizona, but it's fine. Summer's the worst. So I don't really care for spring so much. But my friend in Canada, we did a show in Maine. And I saw the leaves fall in October, and I was like, "This is amazing! Look at all the different colors and everything." He's like, "Yeah, the only thing that tells me is that there's going to be winter soon, and I hate it." I was like, "But the colors?" He's like, "Yeah, no. 7 months of desolation."
I'm colorblind, and it's going to be gray as a motherfucker out here next time we talk. No, son, no. I do not wish that evil on anybody, Ricky Bobby. No.
No, I was going to ask what's the worst thing about spring, but I think we've talked about it. It's the lead into summer.
It's the lead in. It's the inevitable. Here we come. It's the shoe that's going to drop. It's what we call in the biz the dangling participle, John. Maybe we don't call it that. I don't know. I was an English major and I don't spell well, so.
I was an English major, and we actually had a shirt that says, "Do your participles dangle?"
I bet you had a little hummy song about it too. Do your participles dangle? Do they angle? Tickle dangle? Do you jiggle them? Conjugate them? Tell them to your neighbor? Do you even hug a bit? Do your participles dangle? Hey, folks.
Anyway, we're looking at how we don't like spring so much, but our friends in Canada don't like fall. So we're seeing, the different cultures and how different weather affects different people, right? So this next question is extremely selfish. Which season would you pick for everyone in the world to have always?
Oh, that's some bullshit because, well, you know what? I would actually be okay with it because I would be the one like, guys, I'm going to fall on the proverbial bullet for us because I enjoy it. I would take a winter. Give me the December, January, February, fall into winter. Like, yep, give me the cold ones. Like, I'll take it. Granted, I have never been to Minnesota or Michigan in the winter. I was in Paris in the springtime. No, it was the winter or the fall. But no, John. But I never, no, John. It was winter when I was going to see my sister, and and I do remember vividly. I had all this fucking layers on, and like North Face, South Face, all the faces, and like Carhartt, and all like I was ready to rock. And it was already cold. Like Jesus Christ. Oh, okay, I'm still cold. Like I'm still like, but I can deal with this. We turned a corner, and it was one of those like in New York. There's those certain streets where the wind is blowing, and it turns into like a wind tunnel. So we turned a corner. And I was like, ah! I felt like I was cut to the bone. Like, oh, nope, go back. I couldn't do it. Like, And then I can do it, and I did it. But I want to go to Minnesota. I want to go to Wisconsin. I want to do even New York. Like you have snow and you have that shit, but you're not the cold. I want the
upstate New York.
Upstate New York. Yeah.
Buffalo with
the finger licks.
Yep.
John, I'm a big fan of the New York State geography and topography, and I'm a fan of the finger licks.
Now, my boy Pete, I would normally just breeze past this, but you do realize that you picked like the most extreme months for most of the world.
No,
Australia, it is
no.
high summer. It is high summer. Why didn't you pick like a
Oh,
fall or a spring?
oh, that's right. They're the
You
opposite.
literally
I thought I was
have the
doing them,
most extreme months.
but that's okay. You know what? Because I'm thinking I was trying to take one for the team. So because everyone goes from here, they go to Australia in like October, November when it starts
Yeah.
getting cold. Because it's not bad summer yet. It's their spring. That's what it is. God damn it. That's why you spring forward, fall back. Aussie Dave is no longer our lives. Mr. V is our theme song. Right. That's the whole thing.
That's right.
Folks, we're gonna have our next logo is gonna be "Have you seen him?" And it's just a picture of Aussie Dave's stereo profile. Correct.
Next question. If you could have an empire, what would it look like and where would it be?
Well,
This is
first
your-
off, John, I can tell you one thing. It would definitely be striking back. That is for sure. Like, first off, you're like, here's your empire. Like, we're going to get you. For what? Giving me the opportunity to strike back.
Well, you've already proved that because the beginning of Strike Back is Hoth, which is the most extreme winter. So good job. You've already done it.
Thank you very much. But I'll have you know that I paid my penance because they sent me to Dagobah halfway through my glory ride, which slowed my entire ride to the promised land down, John. It was uncalled for, unneeded, swampy. Like, ugh, that is the grossest. Ugh. No, thank you. No, thank you. But okay, all right. I'll take fall. Then I'll take fall. What is fall for the win?
Wait, I've already asked you another question. You can't go back.
No, because you're giving me all these good facts. Like, you're right. You're right. But I can't stand by this when I'm hurting everyone else in the world this much. I'm like, I just want to be cold. But do I want to be that cold? I mean, I liked Hoth.
Oh,
I do like empires.
You're a benevolent emperor.
Do you want a happy emperor or an angry emperor? Let them eat cake.
Let them have fall.
Let them burn in the heat. No, we will give them fall. Very well. Wait, so what is fall? Spring. Spring is Australia. So for fall in, what is Canada? They're good with Canada? Should we check in with other?
Yeah, they just know that winter's coming, but if it's perpetually fall, they'll get over that.
Right. If we promise them that a reboot and a prequel of Game of Thrones is coming out, they're like, we're fine that winter is coming because if we have this to look forward to, yep, we're in. They're very smart people. Acu.
So your empire is perpetually fall or spring south of the equator. What else would it look like and where would it be?
Are you talking about my substantial forces and where I would live? Like the
Yeah, where's the capital? How far would it stretch?
Found that today. It's funny you should mention, but I have to look it up. Let me talk this out. Russian tycoons yacht. Because
so your main city, your capital city is going to be on a yacht.
No. Maldives.
Oh, the Maldives. Well, it's very remote.
Yes, it's very remote, but it's goddamn beautiful. We have all of our UN meetings are on little huts over the ocean where you can see the sea life. We have shell corporations where we're welcoming anyone, but if you fuck with us, you will not leave the island. We have ways of making that happen. We got the stingrays right here.
Really remote, so that any representative of any corner of your empire would have to come to this remote place in order to check in. Okay, continue.
Yes. No, but also because it's beautiful. Everyone wants to come there. It's gorgeous, and it inspires people. Like, do you want to work in the big house up at the top in the capital, or do you want to be in the little UN hut island? Where do you want to be? It's beautiful there too, but
With the
It's
Maldives
basic.
being your base, how far would your empire stretch?
I would honestly, I'm not a jealous. I'm not a greedy person. I'm give me just maybe like just half of the equator, like the bottom half. No, that's a lie. I would.
Where's
just
the Maldives? Is it in the top half?
No, it's in the ocean.
Okay, there you go. So then that would make sense for you to have the bottom half.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like you were trying to question me about my knowledge of geography. John, I talk like this when I don't know words. John, do not try to question me about when I do research of where I want to set up governments and how I want to hide my yacht when people are coming to sanction me, because I'm just pretty sure that once we get big, because anyone who's listening knows we're live on YouTube right now. They can hit that subscribe. They can hit that alert button. If you're listening on stereo, you can hit that just the link right above our beautiful, beautiful faces and see these. Boy, is Miyagi Mag after him.
And if you're listening,
person.
Not on stereo, but on one of our podcast platforms, then you can go to our YouTube channel, which is Two Sided Podcast.
Right. And if you're the government tuning in to my phone, because I know that you have a chip in my brain, because I can put a key on my chest and it sticks, you get off this call right now. See, John, you welcome everybody in.
Everybody. So we've established that there are two sides to every empire, the upside and the downside, and Pete prefers the downside. Okay, we got it.
Well, yeah, because, John, I don't know how you've lived your life and how life has affected your goals, dreams, hopes, ambitions, but in the real world, you realize you want too much, you get too big. That's how much you got to lose. That's how much you got to protect. That's how much you got to deal with. When you tighten your belt and circle the wagons. No, don't show a belt. Don't show your belt.
I'm not going to show a belt.
Oh, you leaned back and looked down. I don't know what that means. No,
circle the wagons?
When you have to circle the wagons, when you have to get it together. Sorry, I need to not address you. No, we're good. When you live that way for so long, it's oh no, this is the best. Even in it's great. But if you could have that same size of perspective in life and money to run it and
right.
a staff and Russian tycoons who are paying you money for the privilege to store their yachts there that you take out for joyrides. Have you seen Ferris Bueller's Day Off? That's what my government's based on, but yachts.
Right. Yeah, you just roll it backwards to get rid of the mileage.
Exactly. John, you've seen it. You know exactly. You've seen this. And that's when the pirates come in. Yar, we need a whole crew of pirates. Good thing we're in the Maldives. Yar. Row.
Final question. What is your favorite empire from throughout the world's history?
I would say, because a lot of them, everyone gave something, a lot of them took away, a lot of them introduced horrible shit to the world that was adopted. You know what I mean? Because everything, there's a first time for everything, right? We're the first two-sided podcast with an angry, irate, bearded motherfucker and a ginger to talk about the seasons. We're the first. And if this catches on, John, baby, I'm telling you what, wildfire. So the horrible shit that empires did, but if you look at the Greeks with the aqueducts and drama, and if you look at the Romans with the roads and
indoor plumbing.
You mean the shit goes from inside to outside? You're crazy. Imagine that. but all those things, those were great, amazing things. But I feel like they were empires, like people invented them, empires enabled them. Just like any invention, you look at electricity, you look at things like that. It's like, but it's the people. It's not the empire. It's not the government. It's not the. But I would say, let's go. I would say Ming Dynasty. I would say because of how they defended their prefectures and their regions, and how they and their art and their theater and the things that they were so cultured, and how so they were, yeah, I would say, yeah.
Nice. That's a great answer. It's very thought out. I thought you would just go for the default of the Roman Empire, which you started to mention, and the Greek Empire. Like I think I would have defaulted to that one, but very, very well thought out.
See, I'm saying, and I can get jokes in. I would have gone Roman Empire if I wanted better jokes.
Right.
I could have done a couple for Greece. Bring me a small liar. I wasn't there. I didn't see him. I was never there. Hey, put me down, see?
I didn't see nothing.
I didn't see nothing, see? Nothing.
Well, that brings us directly into our first real segment of the night. So I think we should have a peace shot and get on to it. Yeah.
Did you say a pea shot?
A peace shot.
Okay. Yeah, enunciate. Hey, sometimes when I'm talking like this, I get super excited and let's do a pea shot.
Peace shot, people.
Yeah. Everybody, if you got to go and you have a cup nearby, if you want to shoot with us, that's horrible. Peace shot. Peace shot. I feel like this is going to be a bad segment because if you're talking this way beforehand. Cheers, motherfucker.
Cheers, everyone listening. And speaking of that, let's get these messages before we jump into it, eh?
Yeah.
I don't know how well this is gonna work. I have you guys through my Bluetooth in my car. I'm driving, but hey Pete, I fucking drove a forklift in a warehouse. It was a refrigerated warehouse because it has reagents to test for various things.
Nice.
They had cold, and yeah, it was a refrigerated warehouse.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. See, I'm saying, and with that, you don't have to walk around. That you can drive, like forklifts, anything that's like, if you can sit there and like, I worked in the kitchen once and we would go after hours because it was like, yeah, we had keys, and anyway, we'd go into the walk-in in the freezer, and it was the best place. If you ever have the chance, I highly recommend smoking weed in a like a freezer unit where it's like, holy shit, it's cold as shit. So any breath you intake is like, whoo! It just makes it feel like a nice winter's day. Like winter in my perfect, no, it's fall. It's fall in my perfect world. Anyway, well, we have ice cream freezers. Go ahead.
Pete, you are crazy. When the cold hits your bones, it hurts. You don't want to be mistaken.
Crazy? All right, you two, quit clowning around down there. I got to put like backward sticky tape on this because I tried to cut it open. I thought it was in my old nose. Oh, there it is. Hey, you quit clowning around down there. Why, you... Whoa.
Listen here.
All right, fair enough. You say the words. Yeah, because I was gonna start using with you and Jeff. You fucking clowns, knock it off. And it's a lot funnier when you sound like you're threatening from the front of a Cadillac. You fucking clowns, knock it off with a fucking fierce backhand. Hey, sorry, boss. Sorry. Hey, sorry, didn't mean to. Hey.
We got you, boss. We got you.
Or what is that? Hey, you fucking clowns, knock it off. Pounds back is like, oh, God.
Wow, they curse a lot.
No, but the clowns, they do dirt, John. If you're running inner city clowns, whole clown industry, the government I have, the Maldives, are rampant with clown violence. One of the things that we said in the Maldives, there's posters everywhere where it has a clown crying and another clown on the ground bleeding. It says, "Stop clown on clown violence. Only you can stop it." I don't know.
What? I'm funny like a clown? That's great. You guys with your red noses.
I learned it by watching you, John, okay? I learned it by watching you.
So our first segment of the episode is empires throughout the ages.
Okay. All right. Hold on, because I got to get my pad and pen so I can retort everything you say and also make jokes when you pause. Continue, my friend.
An empire is defined as an extensive group of states or countries under a single supreme authority, formerly especially an emperor or empress. That has changed to kings and queens, presidents, parliament, etc., etc. While the Roman Empire was one of the longest empires, was lasting 1,500 years, and is probably the most famous in the span of human history, it is fairly modern. The earliest empires precede the Roman Empire by over 2,000 years.
Mm-hmm. No, but the Romans, they were, tenacious. They were one thing they did not stop. Their emperors, their people they had that kept them going for 1,500 years. Because, John, what were the Romans' fighting forces called? Was it a Trojan?
Wait, what? What, the individual soldiers or the units?
No. The unit, they were a phalanx, John. If you want to talk units, now we're talking military history, John. Come on, I don't have time for this. The joke was, of course, because the Romans left us 1,500 years. They had Trojans, and now if you use a Trojan, you can last forever. See, John, sex joke. Man, I work so hard all day, all night, and then I come home to this bullshit. Continue, John. After the Romans, before the Romans, even 2,000 years prior.
Before the Romans, we're going backwards a little bit. The Achaemenid Empire was the first Persian Empire. It's commonly known as the Persian Empire, but it is that much more hard to say name. And it was one of the largest empires ever in history. It was founded in 550 BCE by Cyrus the Great and lasted a little over 200 years. Under his rule, the empire expanded from the ancient Near East, end of Russia, to most of Southwest Asia, much of Central Asia, and Caucasus, making it the largest empire, largest empire than any previous empire.
I know that's actively a specific term that we use to classify continents and different geography things and times. But when you throw things out in the world like that, I'm like, shit, is there anyone really watching? You can't say Caucasia, bro. You gotta preface that shit. All right, and the thing, the Persian Empire, if you know Cyrus as long as I did, he's not that great, okay? It is the Achaemenid, and that is the empire, and we call it like his mother called it. Cyrus Achaemenid Empire. That was his full Persian name.
And that's where the Caucasian comes from. So it still is like the remnants of it is still somewhat lasting today, especially in English-speaking cultures. Before that, and stretching beyond the reign of that empire, was the Carthaginian Empire. That's right. That's where Dracula, the story of. He started 100 years before and lasting over 500 years. So it was 650 BCE and lasting almost into the ADs. This was ruled from Carthage, an ancient city on the top of Africa and overlooking the Mediterranean, encompassing much of northern Africa and continually warring with the Greeks, Sicily, and even the Roman Republic. These wars were known as the Greek Punic Wars of 600 BCE to 265 BCE,
Okay.
and the Punic Wars of 264 BCE to 146 BCE.
Okay. I'm so glad because I was like, I know this, and I know this. You didn't say Vlad the Impaler.
There you go.
Vlad the Impaler. And that is what, beautiful. Hey, Vlad, what do you want to do today? Well, just had my coffee. See those sticks over there? Look at those soldiers. I'd say, let's put them together. He was actually the first creator of Lincoln Logs, where he said he puts two pieces together and makes a stack. Horrible.
Yeah.
Awful.
Yeah.
Awful.
Yeah. So 1,000 years before that was the Egyptian Empire. We know this quite well. It lasted from 1550 to 1077 BCE, and it gave us the pyramids and other spectacles of Egypt and northern Africa.
And a bunch of shit in a museum that you have to go with when they come to town with your girlfriend because she's like, this is culture. And I was like, you know what culture is? It's walking the goddamn streets of East LA. And that is culture, my friend. She's like, nope, let's go see King Tut. And I was like, okie dokie. Thanks, Egypt.
What about papyrus and hieroglyphics?
Okay, I'm with papyrus because otherwise how would you smoke any papyrus filling things?
Right.
I don't believe in writing things down because that's how they can prosecute you in a court of law. Hieroglyphics is what I write on pieces of paper so they cannot prosecute me in a court of law. So I feel like I appreciate all the things. So it's a give and a take, a push and a pull and a flip, John. It's all.
Yeah. So even earlier was the Babylonian Empire from 1894 to 1595 BCE in the region known as Mesopotamia, known today as Iraq, parts of Iran, and surrounding areas.
Okay, let's just go ahead and point out the goddamn Babylonian elephant in the room. They got 1 year of empire. How are you going to call 1 year of empire? It's like, I killed one person. Am I a mass murderer? No. But if I show you all the other years that I was doing it, then I'm an empire? That makes no sense. Tell me what the Babylonians did to make them an empire, John.
1894
to 1895.
To 1595.
Oh, 15. Sorry.
15.
95. The emphasis was wrong with syllables, but it was a good joke.
That's right, yeah. The 1 year empire. We're great.
I'm telling you. I'm a self-starter. I have my own business. A bunch of 1 years. That's untrue. I drive to your house. I do my own taxidermy and embalming. But then whatever. Don't get me started on government regulations because this empire doesn't believe in mobile embalming services, John. Don't get me started on that. Continue. After Babylon.
So the oldest empires were the Assyrian Empire, lasting over 1,400 years, from 2025 to 605 BCE.
Okay.
The second longest empire after the Roman, boarding the Babylonian Empire in what was known as Assyria, and now known as parts of Iraq, Turkey, Syria, and Iran. And finally, the oldest known empire in human history, the Akkadian Empire, from 2334 to 2154 BC, only lasting about 180 years. So it was a small lived, because it branched into these other two. It was eventually fell to split into the Assyrian and then the Babylonian empires.
The Akkadian. And that is where the cicadas come from. And they come back there's something we're going to workshop that. Akkadian cicada. I'll work on it, done.
Okay.
But do you think that it was, okay, so let me ask you this. So they were the first ones split. Is that the first because we are now documenting history? Was there, because at any point you could call a group of people living together, here's a community. If you have a leader that forms, and the leader is delegating things to do, and you start to take over other lands or other properties. Isn't that technically the same thing? So do you think, and I'm not asking, I am asking, I'm not like, do you think it was happening before then, but that was the first time it was documented? Because we didn't get Sanskrit, we didn't get true, we had papyrus.
There was no written language at that point. So all of this is from oral tradition that was written early in the written language era. And so that's that, like I said, that's the oldest that we know.
Translated from the stories that they had from their ancestors. That's how they split, and that's how they wrote the papyrus on their legends.
Right.
Okay.
And the difference between that and like a little fiefdom is that it was large enough that it encompassed multiple cultures. It encompassed a large enough land. Yeah.
I thought you said this was a good sized fiefdom, that I was living okay. A small fiefdom? I can barely keep up with the bills around here, John.
You'll turn your fiefdom into a kingdom someday. You will.
No, I'll sell my kingdom for a horse because I really like horses, and my fiefdom is pretty small according to John.
But if you have an empire, you can go, multiple places. Right. That's the whole point.
Right, 100%. Right? Maldives, folks. Next meet of the minds is the Maldives. We're going to get that yacht. We're going to take it for test drive. First day, our way to success.
So the real bridge between these ancient empires and the semi-modern into the modern empires was, especially for the Western cultures, was the Greek, which really became the Roman Empire, right? So the Greek Empire really expanded by Alexander the Great. And then the Romans came in and basically took all of that, and that's what made them so big and so popular. And that really was a huge bridge between these ancient empires and what we know today as the empires that have just recently left, as the some are semi still around, kind of thing.
So we're going back to the Greeks and the Romans,
right? So they're the linchpin.
That's the bridge. That's the bridge. They're the ones. Okay. Cool. They're also the ones who brought us anal. I don't know if you knew that.
Right. It was the triangle. Who was the guy who did the triangle?
Pythagoras.
Yeah. That's where what got us anal.
Yeah. No, I'm telling you, it's just like out of need comes necessity, John. Thanks, Greeks. Bullshit. I would rather take some tragedy of a different sort.
Here's a question. If you had a choice between these three, what would you want to rule? The Roman Republic, the Roman Empire, or the Holy Roman Empire?
Oh, no. Oh, well, see, but now you're playing with it because that's the most powerful. The Roman Empire would be the ship, the Republic. I want to say the Republic because that is like of the people, for the people, in the people. Like you still get to, it's still power, but it's not.
And who was the last ruler of the Republic?
It was Hail Caesar.
That's right, Julius himself. His nephew Augustus was the first emperor. That was the shift.
Mm-hmm. Yep, and that's the idea. When you still had your quorum, you still had the
Senate.
Ideas of semblances. Well, no, right, the Senate, but it was that's the name they used, and people have adopted that because we have Senate, you have Congress, you have the House of Parliament, you have Parliament, right. You have. There's all these different names, right? But it's basically the same idea that we don't want to give this person all of the power, so we're going to give these two other things power and put more stopgaps in, and we're going to call them whatever the fuck we want, right? However, there's now metal detectors and everything. There's no knives allowed and toga parties unless you're in the U.S. doing the orgies and the coke with the new Republican senator in the we call them wheels where I'm from, congressman. Coke fueled orgies. Welcome to the party, Senator.
So the more things change, the more they stay the same. Is that what you're saying?
Did I say that? I did say that, John. Actively, collectively, like we said all the time, man. There's all the good themes have been taken already. they've been turned into theme parks. All the good, there's no more chords in music to play, right? All the notes are there, and we're putting them together, and it's already been put together in this fashion. Like you're looking at tempo, you're looking at chords, movies, everything's been done. So it's like, it is going to be repeat. Life is going to repeat because we're like, all right, here we are on the bubble. Here we go again. Like, hit the reset like that. I don't know, man. This is what you got me going. Sean! I'm very upset at you. All right, go ahead.
So some more notable empires, though not making that list of the big, huge ones of the ancient world. The Mongol Empire. I mean, it. We know and we love them.
Genghis, my man,
That's
Genghis
right.
Khan, and his son
And
Kublai
all the
Khan.
Khans. That's right.
All the Khans. Oh my God! They truly, if I had to run one, I would like instead of the Romans, I would go with Mongolian because those fuckers, horse riders, out doing shit, eating meat. Like that's
early cowboys. I would say they were early cowboys. Yeah,
with a lot more like Viking looks. It's like the Viking cowboy crossover.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, it's like if my family went and bought a ranch.
Correct. Yeah, your early family. Your family now buying a ranch is pretty much what happened in life. I was like, yeah, that's what John says. Howdy, like, it did not work out well. This is not the Genghis Khan I know and love. This is a ginger who has a ranch from goddamn Viking. I would stop with all the pillaging and the horrible. Well, no, I would pillage. I would definitely pillage. But the raping, killing, the needless killing. No raping, no needless killing, but still pillage. Ask nicely, say I'm sorry, say thank you. No burning of houses. And everyone gets to knock over one cabinet per house. Everybody get in there and do a good job. We'll see you back here. Genghis Khan out.
As a kid, I literally saw a comic strip of two Vikings. One said, "Are you ready for another day of raping and pillaging?" And the other one said, "No, it's Sunday. Only pillaging."
I feel like, John, and I feel like you were looking at your dad's Playboy and you went to the comics in the back because that's not a real comic. That's a Playboy comic. My favorite comic that I ever saw was from a Playboy of my dad's when I was, oh shit, I sold him out. Anyway, I mean, I don't have a dad. I was a test tube Playboy.
Right, from the test tube. Right, the test tube had some Playboys.
Anyway, yeah, love this clinic. Love this clinic. It was people in like the whole tundra in Alaska, and it's like old like ice things in back. It's all snowy, and the trail behind them are here just a bunch of dead seals with like beaten, like bloody, and the foreground are here two guys with bloody bats. You guys like, hard day. Do you have anything for a headache? I was like, whoa, holy shit. Holy shit. Yeah, I think we read the same Playboy. I don't know.
Yeah. Anyway.
We should once we get the khakis, we'll get a subscription to the post office box. But I need you to forward those to me after you're done reading. Perfect.
Next is the Ottoman Empire. At its height between 16th and 17th centuries BCE, the Islamic Empire covered portions of three continents: Southeastern Europe, Western Asia, and North Africa.
Well, not only was it between the Ottoman Empire was not only between the 16th and 17th centuries, it was also between my couch and my coffee table.
No, I'm sorry. I said BC AD. It collapsed in the early years of the 20th century. So this is all modern. This is a modern empire.
Yeah. No, this is I remember it when I was a small lad. The Ottoman Empire. There was like free Ottomans for everyone. That's why my grandma's house filled up with Ottomans and duvets. It was a real nightmare on the furniture floor. I think we all suffered when they went down.
So
that's what we call them taking in refugees. My
And
God,
that's how the
Sean!
empire spreads.
Exactly. Their words and their beliefs slowly spread to the grandmas and mothers across the United States. Shh, the Ottomans are here. The Ottomans are good. Everybody needs an Ottoman, and the empire lives on, John.
So the Spanish Empire, at its height in the late 1700s, it comprised 5.3 million square miles and wielded tremendous economic and military power. As we know, it was building up as it was moving westward and took on a lot of America, a lot of the Americas, and still has influence in most of the Americas.
Yep. No. I'm at the point now where I'm like, usually my filter stops those bad thoughts from coming, even like getting to fruition, and trying to work it out. But now, once I have a few shots where going halfway through, it's like, the filter's a little slower. And I'm working the joke out when I hear it. And I'm like, no. That's John working to get you canceled. No. Fuck him. You can say fuck him, but you can't do the Spanish Empire. Great military, great. They were very organized. They had amazing food. They that was one of the things where they came in. If you looked that up, paella, originated around that time, and they have great parties, and no one has to
siestas. And they have great siestas as well. They have great fiestas and siestas.
Yep. And we made it through this whole segment without anyone using a lisp to describe anything or do anything about being very, very sleepy. Except John brought it up, so we're going to be adults about it and not make a joke. So, John, who's next on your list of people?
We're getting into the current ones and the ones that just recently left us. So let's have a little shotty poo and move on.
God damn. All right, I'm ready. All right. Yeah.
Cheers to everyone listening.
Okie dokie, Archoki. Time to do it.
The next one is the Russian Empire. At its greatest extent in 1895, the Russian Empire reached 8.9 million square miles, and because of its size and influence, the empire played an integral role in halting Napoleon's conquest of Europe, and again, another conquest of Europe in the late 30s, early 1940s.
What happened in the 30s, 40s? You said you're talking about the World War I?
World War II.
I'm sorry, you trailed. So I heard you're talking about Napoleon because they were there in 1895. And they were the big stopgap between Napoleon. And then you said,
So 1895 was their height. They were able to stop Napoleon where no one else was. Yes. They were a major factor of stopping Hitler when very few people were able to, very few countries were able to stop him. And so it was a twofer that kind of dismantled, and they were going through their own turmoils right at that point anyway. Basically, the remnants of their empire was World War II.
Right. Okay. So I didn't hear what you were, because I thought you said the earlier dates. I thought you were talking in the 40s.
Oh, no.
So I heard 1895. I was like, wait, what? They were involved
in the 1930s to 1940s.
Okay.
Right. Their empire was essentially gone by then because the USSR had been, the revolution had happened, but their influence was still so big that they were able to throw so many millions of soldiers at that war. It was basically the last energy that empire had was to help stop Hitler.
Oof. Yeah. Oof. It reminds me listening to the Bruce Springsteen song.
Which one?
No, that's not going to fly either. But here's what happens. 1895, very, very good year for all of us. All of us, very nice, very good time. We have 8.9 million miles all the way. In 1895, Napoleon does not come here. We come on Napoleon. He's sex joke, Russian style. You're welcome.
the influence of the influence of the Portuguese Empire is widely understated throughout the world today, but it was the first global empire in history, as well as the longest-lived modern European colonial empire. Now, many people think immediately Spain, the Dutch, or obviously Britain. But the Portuguese Empire started with the capture of Ceuta in 1415 and ended in 1999 with the handover of Macau.
And also, great food. My adopted grandma was Portuguese. That's why I learned a lot of Portuguese phrases, and it's like bad Spanish. But great food would go like, yeah, and they had it hard, and they ruled with an iron fist in a lot of ways. But there were some great things that came out of there, right? Vosta y comida.
What is that?
Vosta y comida. Grandma, where's the food?
I've always found Portuguese, to me, how I hear it is it's romantic words with Russian phrasings. There's this weird cross blend.
The syntax of it, it's how it's delivered. It's a lot more, but it has the romance of Spain, where you're like, but like, yeah. So yes, it's a beautiful. If you've ever been to, because growing up in Northern California, up in like Galt and Modesto and those areas, they'd have small little local small rodeos or bullfights. They had bullfights, and it was a Portuguese thing where once the bull was killed, after they'd have the big party outside of the stadium, and they'd roast the bull or you'd cook it, and you'd have blood sausage and like partying and dancing all night long.
Every part of it. Use
every part of it. Yep. Which was an amazing party. And I got to go to it once and then it was like, this is great. And like and we left like as it was getting dark, but he's like, oh no, they're going to go to like 2-3 in the morning. Yeah. Like, oh my God, that's fantastic. I can condone. No, I can't. That whole bullfighting thing, like, if you want to do it like a real man to bull, if you want to like fight a Subaru, I'm ready for that. But if you get like 2 guys to come in before, like a mechanic to loosen his bolts and another one to fucking take off the brake pads, and then you come in to fight the Subaru, no, you don't get the picadors and all that shit. You get
right.
You get or don't do it. Period.
That's right.
Period.
Do or do not. There is no try.
Yeah, there is no try. Yeah, not in this world. Fucking don't talk about it, motherfucker. Be about it. Shit.
Yep. So the fall or the decline of the Portuguese Empire was really with the most valuable colony, Brazil, winning its independence in 1822, and then following the 1974 overthrow of the regime of Portugal, the empire's government recognized the independence of all of its colonies except for Macau, and then Macau was returned to China in 1999. So it was, it was quite a huge deal that we kind of brush aside because we're English speaking and we're very self-centered. So, which leads us to our next empire, the
Goddamn, you're never going to stop this. You're not going to stop this. You're going to get worse and worse. I know where this is going. You went backwards, now we're going forwards, and now we're hearing all this. We're going to do British, John? What's next, John? Oh, wait, I know, John. Folks, this is the time where my boy Pete pours for the shot because this is where John said peace shot in the beginning because he knows I'm getting heated. And this is how. No, John. John's a good friend. John needs friends. John is something special. And he gets support and is a voice too needs to be heard. And I support him. Okay, I got it.
You're bringing the mantra back. Hey!
Yep. Nope, I got it. Nope. When I get so. I have to bring it back, John, because the things I want to say could and will be used against me in a court of law. Do you understand? Oh, John's a good friend. John's a good friend. Ginger friend. Everybody loves a ginger friend. That's not true. You're just taking me down.
Everyone's not needing a ginger friend. That's not true.
Well, is it okay? How can I get away with saying everyone needs a ginger friend, and that's not bad? But I truly also think that everyone needs a friend who's a little person, because I have one, and once you have one, you can't not ever have one again. Like, this is the friendship you need in your life. And I don't know if that's bad. See, John, God damn you, you're canceling me again, making me think about things. Folks. Let's
just shoot. It's fine.
Let's just shoot. I know. Man, that's what.
Cheers, brother. I love you.
Now I know. Now you're going to get me canceled for loving things. Oh, shit. That's a lie. Love cancels all. Go ahead.
So the British Empire, at its greatest extent, early in the 20th century, the British Empire comprised nearly a quarter of the planet and an equal percentage of its population. Many of the territories it colonized have since gained independence, though several remain part of what is known as the Commonwealth of Nations today. And its peak was right before its fall, 1920. So this was started with long before Queen Victoria, but she, saw it at the point where the sun never sets on Britain, on the British Empire.
You're making John. You're just like you're in a powder keg room right now, and you're playing with matches, bro. And I'm gonna try and let you get through this, but I have some very specific feelings about the colonialism of the British Empire and how this and I know you're going to get into it, so I'm not going to jump your gun to get into it and like shoot myself in the foot. I'm going to let you pull the gun, and that way it's self-defense. So folks, we're on the street. Look at my hands. I'm not going for a gun yet. Continue your talk, John.
Well, okay, so I'm just going to there was a French Empire from 1611 to 1980, the modern Chinese Empire, the Qin Dynasty, 1644 to 1911, the U.S. Empire, 1776 to now, the Brazilian Empire.
Go ahead.
1776 to now-ish. The Brazilian Empire of 1822 to 1889. German Empire, 1871 to 1918, at the beginning of World War, or at the end of World War I, and then they went again with 1939 to 1945, because that was an empire for as little as it lasted. It was almost the one-year empire that we were talking about way back when. And then the Japanese Empire of 1871 to 1945, which also ended with that end of that major world war, the war to end all wars. So empires, more than nation states, are principal actors in the history of the world. Much of what we call history consists of the deeds of 50 to 70 empires that once ruled multiple peoples across large chunks of the globe. Like China is a direct descendant of the Middle Kingdom. The Americas, the imperial legacy is apparent from Canada in the north to Argentina in the south of the different empires. Even today, the Canadian head of state is the British monarch, and the Falkland Islands remain a British possession. This is just the remnants of something that we say no longer exists, but has a direct effect on how we view the world and how we view each other, the us and them mentality that has been going on since the dawn of time.
No, yeah. Yeah, no, it is definitely nations and empires are set up to either consume and encompass their neighbors and their foes, or they're set to destroy them. You are going to change. We are not. You are going to succumb to what our will is if you live within these borders. We will try to move our borders and extend them in either peace treaties, government, something, or physically moving the borders. You know, you look at, like you said, I can't even talk there. Let's make jokes. British Empire. They gave us tea and scones and spotted dick, John.
Fine cutlery.
A little corgis. They gave us corgis. Everybody loves a corgi.
Croquet.
Bad teeth. Wait, that was the Ozarks.
Good teeth. No, not that either.
No. James Bond. No. Fuck.
Oh, he was Scottish.
Right, I know. That's what I'm saying. Fuck. No, and the author wasn't either. Fuck.
Beckham's left foot. Beckham's right foot.
I can't bend it like either one, John, so let's not talk about that. Let's roll your ass away in that wheelchair of yours. Because if we're done talking about empires, governments, and all the shenanigans that are through lines with you, I'd like to take a breath, take a shot, take a moment to tell everyone, if you've liked what you've seen, I can't imagine you did. If you followed what you've heard,
I can't imagine that you did.
I guess what I'm saying is, if you're a glutton for punishment, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. We'll be here every Thursday to wreck your house and wreck your dreams. Don't be afraid to ruin dinner and postpone it, because we're on live.
And this is something new. You can rate and follow and rate us on the platforms of both Apple Podcasts and Spotify. And you can now rate us on Spotify, and we'd like if you'd rate us on both. That'll help us out. Yeah, so we'd like to throw those out there as well. 5 stars is great. It doesn't hurt you. It only helps us.
Yeah, but if you don't, I swear to God, it will hurt you. I get to get all these facts, and I know it says, like, there's someone in the state of Michigan who doesn't think you're a 5. They think you're a 4. I was like, we're going to talk about that number 1 number. That's a joke.
Here's a little bit more rope, Pete. Would you like it? Just giving you enough.
No, John. Let's move on. Okay, I'm ready.
What do you? Let's hit this bubble here. Hey.
Get it.
I think my favorite con is Madeline Con. She's definitely my favorite. Definitely.
Well, she is definitely the fiercest of all the cons.
Right. I am myself. I prefer the long con. I'm more of the Sting kind of guy. So.
Yeah, we know. We all know. No, not only are you cheats, you're dirty cheats as well.
I'm just saying, long con, baby. If you guys think that this is a real
shout out
podcast,
to the Sting. Shout out to the Sting, by the way. That's a fantastic movie. If you haven't seen it, go see it.
Folks, this is right around. We can clock this. John, do the clap and say mark so you can listen to it later.
3, 2, 1.
Okay, so this, you can time this now in what? 6:41. We started at 5. This is where John turns. This is where my boy Pete turns. John gets a little more like, you know what? Shout out to Sting. Like, no, great movie. Shout out to. And then I'm like, God damn this motherfucker. This is where it turns. 6:41. It takes an hour and 40 minutes for me to be fed up with you and you to be drunk enough to piss me off.
You know what? I don't have to be drunk enough to piss you off. I
No,
just
but
want to put that out there.
It goddamn helps, doesn't it? It's inevitable when you are.
It helps me. That's what I'm gonna say.
No,
because when I piss you off, it's gonna happen all in the same. So I might as well be drunk for it.
Right. It's just like might as well drink all the booze on the little cart in the airline as we're going down because it's gonna hurt less when I hit. And that's why I don't fly, John. Did I tell you?
Until we don't feel feelings. No, what?
Exactly. That's why. Did I tell you I'm taking it when I go to Australia for a tour? I'm gonna have to leave a month before you because I'm taking a boat. So you can fly there and like meet me the next day, but it's gonna take me a week and a half because I'm gonna go
like a steamer.
No, like a rowboat. Like I'm not paying any prices. Look, I'm trying to get my arm strength up. I have my whole camelback. I'm pretty sure I can make it. Time me, John.
You have some guy named Gregory from Princeton accompanying you. Stroke.
I'm with you, but I didn't do crew, and I refuse to have those fucking Gregorys in my goddamn boat, John. This is a man's boat. We're rolling our way to fucking Drungo Town, fucking on the South Shore. Like we're hitting, and I'm not even gonna hit land, and then like come around or drive. I'm gonna like there it is. All right, keep going. It's like if you're hitting California, like all right, let's go to Florida. Keep going. Just keep skimming. Just keep on going. I'm boat bound, baby. That's how pirates get started. Because I don't fly. I bring my own cocktail bottles. Go on, John.
Well, yeah, right. You want your own little cocktail bottles on the boat with you, as opposed to having to take them from the steward or stewardess. That's right. I didn't say flight attendant.
No, I don't have to take them because the plane is going to go down and I'll have to drink them. And if there's anybody smart on the flight, they'll be fighting me for the bottles as we're going down. I don't have a fist fight in the last 2 minutes of my life. I want to spend the time comfortably drinking, watching As Good as It Gets on repeat on the overflight entertainment system because I love me some Jack Nicholson.
He was good in it.
He was great in it. He was great.
Speaking of great, we're jumping into our next lightning round.
Shh. I don't think he heard. Let's just be real quiet. And maybe if we're not funny, he won't come out. And I'm pretty sure we cannot be funny. Over.
I believe and out. I believe you're going to be really not funny with this one because it's one of your favorites, and I mean that ironically. It's the negative Nelly. So that's when I give Pete a phrase, and he responds in a negative aspect.
It's almost like he sees these things coming. He's like, "Oh, we had this talk about where I'm trying to annoy you." And it's like, "Fuck Pete, I'm going to make him hate life more, and maybe." Just maybe we can have a blowout on air. Here we go, folks. Listen in. For all you Patreon fans out there, we're having a betting pool. 5-1 odds, he loses his shit and threatens John's life. Let's see what happens. All right, John, I guess I'm ready.
This first one is actually, I don't think you're going to have to act at all. Hey, Pete. It's such a lovely spring day today, isn't it?
That's all right, man. I don't get to wear a fucking hoodie. It's goddamn bullshit. When I walk my dogs, there's bees in the clover. He can't see the bees. I got to pull him from the bees. He thinks he's scared. I don't like this bullshit more than you do, John. What happened to the winter when the bees were dead? What happened to the winter when the bees were dead? Hope you have a good Thursday, bro. I'll see you tomorrow. Cool. And that is my interaction at the park every day.
Every day. Hey, Pete, did you see that the gas prices across the country are dropping quite a lot?
How are they, John? When you have the crippling depression that I have, that you haven't driven a car for over 17 years, last time I drove a car was 1984. It was my grandpa's 1921 Cadillac. I remember it like it was yesterday. It was 1921. I had grandpa's keys and I said, Pop, I'll fill it up for you. He said, oh no, son, it's a cranky crank. And I don't know what that means. And so I was like, I got scared. I didn't drive anymore after that. But now today, John, bullshit. I don't give a shit. I don't care. I don't care. Why are you leaving your house? Why are you driving? I don't care.
Hey, Pete, do you want to have my PS5 and all the games that go with this console?
PS5 is for bitches, John. One thing I want you to realize in the war between Xbox and PS5, or Xbox One, I would rather pay for one controller, one Xbox One with no games than have to house your hot horseshit of PS5 conglomeration in my house. We're not that family, John. We're not that family. Do I get anything for that, you fuck? Do I get anything? You just fucking stare at the screen? You didn't get a ding? You didn't give me anything? Is that the right answer? Is it the wrong answer? What the fuck's your problem, bro? Fuck you. Give me the goddamn PlayStation and the games. I'm playing your game. Fucking give me something. Jesus. Okay, now we're back in it, folks. Folks, if you like what you've seen, if you can't believe that no sound effects or replies were heard in the last joke, then folks, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, hit that alert button. If you're listening on any other format after this, you can go ahead and email us at twosidedpod@gmail.com. That's TWO-sidedpod@gmail.com, and give John pointers on how to listen and respond after the questions he asks are answered. Folks, let's get on to the next
one. Hey, Pete, tell me about that first kiss you had that was so great.
It was the accident the likes that I've never seen. There I was on a cold, dark night behind the old gym. Yeah. She came at me like Cthulhu, like the old sea beast, all lips, tentacles. I knew not what to do. Yar. Well, I cried a little, and it was okay. Because the pirates become men after they see the face of the devil. Yar. And that is when I went into the second. We're so close on
You are such a negative Nelly.
Yeah, we're so close on understanding each other's timings. Like, we're so close, John. We're so close. Thanks for being a negative Nelly, John. Thanks for helping this negative Nelly get to be a negative Nelly in the next few segments. Thanks, buddy. Because
you're welcome.
It takes a village to make this monster a monster.
And it takes a monster to make this village a village.
It really does, because if you don't tie a virgin to that stake once a week, I'm telling you, the village will be destroyed and the monster will be not happy. Done. Oh shit, we don't have a virgin? All right, guys, who have been fucking this week? Bullshit. Village gone. You get it. He gets it. He gets it. He gets it.
Oh, why?
All right. We will. Just so you know, I do have all of the information, but I do not look at it at all. John sends it. I was like, look at that shit. Like, I just critique what he's doing, and I say, this could be better. Maybe you do this better. Maybe stop doing this, or maybe start doing this. That is literally my input to the show. I mean, I'm mainly the striped bearded one with all the retorts and the shenaniganizing, the tomfools. But John is the bread and butter. He's the heart and soul of this operation. If he wasn't here, I'd definitely just have to get someone else. Wait, that came out wrong.
we now have subscribers from Germany, so we have more countries represented.
God damn it, folks!
Bridging international borders.
We were doing that before, but I feel like your ex is trying to get in contact with you. I feel like, and I'm going to call out. I'm going to make more German jokes now and try to get our German. Unless we get one more, if there's two, I'm safe. But one, it's who I think it is, and I'm going to get them off. No,
Nein, the Germans will be very upset when they hear all the jokes. Said the Germans. Ooh, yeah. Is a not a German joke? Yeah, das ist a German joke. German joke. German joke. Ha 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 ha. German joke.
Well, if that were true, then it would be coming from the opera world, and so German joke.
No, it would not be, because the opera world, the one who would follow us, who I want, hasn't, and I want to dox him too.
So we're jumping into our final segment of the episode. That's right.
Oh, thank God. Thank God, folks.
First kisses.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
What the fuck? I feel, John, this isn't like super bad. We're not that group. We're not those people. Like, this is going to be very painful for, no, this is very definitely two-sided. This is super two-sided. Because if you're going to be honest, and I'm going to be honest, and I make good jokes, feelings will be hurt tonight, John. Go ahead.
So first kisses are something you dream of, it's something you've waited for forever, and it's intimidating. Americans agree that kids are ready for their first kiss at age 15. While on average, they had theirs at 14.5. Despite what the song says, a kiss is not always a kiss. A kiss can be political, whether it's because of the first of its kind or because it's between two heads of state. A kiss can also become iconic when it's captured on film, even if the kiss itself was invasive and unwanted. And we're going to look at some of those kisses throughout history.
Okay, so we're going to talk about the kiss of death. We're going to talk about coming back and winning the war on the soldier, kissing the nurse. We're going to talk about first kiss, and good kiss or bad kiss. And we're going to talk about your kiss. Like, I once kissed a girl when I was 19. Like, really? Yeah, on the butthole. Like, Jesus, John. But it was fine because it was consenting.
Yeah.
Well,
the sphincter has the same
God damn it.
skin tissue as lips. So.
Yeah, no, I know. We learned this when we were in drug school, Cheech. That's why you have to boof your drugs if you put them in your mouth to absorb. John, let's do shots. Welcome to boof school, baby. Cheers.
Cheers. Cheers to everyone listening.
Ugh.
Mm.
We canceled yet?
Nah, we're good. So scholars debate whether kissing began as a trend that spread around the globe or sprung up organically in different regions. Whether the case, the earliest known written mentions of it are the Vedic Sanskrit scriptures, circa 1500 BCE, according to research by Von Bryant, an anthropologist, professor at Texas A&M University. These scriptures, known as Vedas, were foundational to the religion of Hinduism. So the first mention of any kind of kiss was in 1500 BCE, and they were in scriptures that are fundamental to Hinduism.
Say that one more time. Fundamental. Say it again.
Foundational.
Foundational. Oh, they were functuational. They were feng shuiing in there. So that, John, let me go ahead and preface this. So the first recorded kiss was right between the Russian Empire and the Egyptian Empire. So we're right there. But 1550 was when Egypt started. So we're right before, because as we all know, if you have enough vodka and you're going to Egypt, you got to have a little snoggy action. I don't know, John. I'm just trying to get my dates correct. All right, the first kiss. But how come? Okay, no, I'm going to wait for it. I have a joke coming, but I'm going to wait for it. I'm going to figure out where to put it. Go ahead. So
after its first mention, BCE. After its first mention in writing, kissing didn't appear much in art or literature for a few hundred years. An Indian epic poem, Mahabharata, describes kissing on the lips as a sign of affection. The Mahabharata was passed down orally for several hundred years before being written down and standardized around 350 AD. The Indian religious texts, Vasanyata and Kama Sutra, or the Kama Sutra, is also described variety of kisses. It was written around 6th century AD, and anthropologists believe that kissing is a learned behavior, theorized that the Greeks learned it when Alexander the Great invaded India in 326 BCE. So it started in India. 100%?
No, you have to finish your goddamn words. So you said it started in India and you stopped. So finish your sentence if you don't have one.
That's it. No, that was it. That was the end of the sentence.
So it stopped in India. Okay, then shh, be quiet. So you don't have to finish with the button. So it started in India. You don't have to put that button on it. You can give me all the facts. You don't have to put that button on it. So it started in India. Like, motherfucker. Motherfucker, do you think 350 AD, John, shit happened. I don't know when you were born, but I saw the human centipede in 2023. Not yet. I'm living in a parallel dimension, and that is when affection comes together. No, that's not true. See, again, fuck, I got upset at you, and I tried to make the joke without looking at the things. You know what? Whatever. Kiss you on the lips. And I liked how you had to say, because India said when Alexander the Great came over, and it was passed down in tradition orally. I was like, of course it was passed orally, you motherfucker. That is how mono is passed. Hello. Welcome to the party, John. Jesus, man. Okay, go. You're good.
So kissing is not just a romantic act. It can also be a sign of friendship or betrayal. In the Gospel of Matthew and Mark, written circa the 1st century, Judas betrayed Jesus by identifying him with a kiss, so that armed men can take him away and eventually kill him.
You fuck. Don't even start with me. Like, please go with Godfather instead of the Bible. Like, you know how I feel about this bullshit. Like, if you're talking about the kiss of death, like, hey, you're a family, Gino. I fucking love you. So he's like, you deny me 3 times, Peter? Yeah, motherfucker, I'll deny you again because this story is cray-cray. Hell no. Oh, hell no. But for all of you religious people out there, if you like it, our next show is going to be all about religion and how we've adhered to the altar call, and we came to our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christa. She's great up there. But if you tune in, so if you like what you're hearing, you can't believe that this is still happening after 1 year of who knows. hit that subscribe, hit that like, hit that alert button. If you're listening after the fact, don't be afraid to send us an email at twosidedpod@gmail.com. That's TWO sidedpod@gmail.com, because we will take requests. We will chop it up with you. We will understand the world together, because it's a community, not a immunity, because that's a hot button issue. Turns out I had smallpox once, and now I can't get it anymore, John says. So anyway, go ahead.
The first people to smooch on film were May Irwin and John C. Rice, who appeared in a short film known variously as May Irwin Kiss, Kiss, or The Kiss. This was in 1896.
Bro, 1896, but did you see 1893 Bicycle? Holy shit, bro. When I saw Bicycle, it was a moving bicycle. Ridiculous.
The two performers went to Thomas Edison's studio in New Jersey and reenacted their final kiss scene from a play they were putting on in New York City. And this was scandalous. This was a huge thing. People were very accustomed to seeing kisses on stage. It was no big deal. But to see it up close and personal became very threatening.
Right. It's just like on Fans Only. They're like, you can't show full penetration. It's like, that's scandalous. It's like very like, well, you got to pay extra because we have a paywall. Like, and that's why, folks, if you like what you've seen, you can get to it. No, that's not true. But also, that's a funny joke. Go ahead.
So in 1898, 2 years later, black performers, Saint Subtle and Gertie Brown, starred in a short film titled, this is the title of the film, Something Good Negro Kiss, the first film to show black Americans kissing. In 2017, the film historian rediscovered the footage, which was filmed by a white man named William Selig in Chicago. So this film was not even shown, as opposed to the other film 2 years earlier, as a big old deal. This film was hidden away and almost lost in the annals of time. But in 2017, it was rediscovered.
That's awesome. But what do you think, John? I feel like in situations like this, I feel like you're the Tucker Carlson of the world. I'm like, well, I'm just asking questions. No, but I want. No, we're still live. You don't have to, you're still on camera. You can look here instead of looking away like I'm tired of making faces. You're proffering questions. No, John, again, we don't have to do things we talk about, remember? When I say sizzling bacon, you don't have to pretend you're bacon. When I say ginger heartbeat, you don't have to do it. And when I say things, you don't have to get mad at it. John. There we go. And now I'm so mad at you. I don't even remember what I was going to say. You're the Tucker Carlson because you're prophet. No, I want to know. Shut the fuck up. I want to know from you after I ask a question, what are your thoughts? Because you're like, well, I'm just asking questions. Because there are two big, huge answers on that. Huge. And they're both inflammatory. And you can go like two different roads hard. And I want to go down both, but like you're just setting me up to like, what do you think on this? What is your thought?
My thought is that there was a progressive nature in areas like Chicago, and that it was squelched by the reformism, racism of America of the late 1800s. And almost destroyed, and we might have never known about it. But there was a couple of surviving footages.
Okay, so cool. So right now, are we celebrating that there is surviving footage of kisses between two black people historically, or are we realizing the fact that they filmed like this is a thing, two black people kissing, which is like, oh my God, we can't ever show this, and it's going to be a document for history. That is because we're studying, because to me that is like, I saw the goddamn bicycle, John. I saw the goddamn bicycle. Why aren't you putting out moving pictures, or we call them talkies, after the fact?
Right.
After the fact. That was
right.
That was my
These would be the silence, right? Yeah.
Right, but I'm saying, man, like,
well, because the first one was so famous. That's what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that it should have been right alongside the bicycle and the kiss. Correct. Just as much, because it was in the same era. These were the first films that were put out.
Correct. So what my question to you is, flipping the two-sided pod, why is this a good thing that it was found now before it was destroyed? Why? Is it good because it proves that we know exactly that we are a systemic racist country that fucking denigrates people across the board? Is it because, look, here's more footage of after bicycle and after the chicky whitey kissy? Is it, and we have, but why? Because we have a lot more film. I'm asking you, why is it good that we found it? Why is it bad that you think you lost it?
Now, my thought is, my personal thought, and I'm putting myself.
That's all I'm asking, here. Motherfucker. Yeah. That's literally what I do all day. Welcome to the party. Talk your goddamn mind. Go on. We all listen, motherfucker. Go on.
My thought is, these are the earliest recordings of anything, and so the fact that it happened so quickly and was documented so quickly in the invention of the silence of the silent film was amazing. And we documented certain things, and it's just a part of history, and that it was removed from history for so long, and that it is now put back into, here it is. We are sure that was recorded, but we didn't know what it was, and now we could say, here is at least the earliest known recording of it. And it is really close to all the other early recordings, like the bicycle, like the kiss. And so that we put it back into its proper place in the history of film, the history of movies, the history of the silence turning into the talkies, is a beautiful thing. And that's why I put it there.
Okay. No, I'm with you, but it's the same thing as, like, things weren't lost. Like, I look at this, I look at not the celebration of it, because we need to know, but I guess I'm taking umbrage with your thing. Like, it's so good that we found it. If you're looking at it from a historical point of view, then I agree. If you're looking at it as a good because this is a way to better our cause, to better our place in society, no, I do not agree. Because
I'm looking at history.
Go ahead, man.
That's it. You were saying if it's one or the other, and I agree with you. I'm more looking at the historical aspect of it.
Right. No, I was going to give you some expounding information and try to tell you about what the relation was and why I'm asking you and being so direct, instead of people just hearing me ask you yes or no, fucker, yes or no. I'm trying to give a little more aspect, John, a little more purview, a little something from the fucking cheap seats. Baby, look at me. We're fine. Right? It's like looking at there's the World War II in color. There's a movie about it. There's a series that goes through. Vietnam did it. It's not lost footage. We know about it. Do we? Yes, it's historical. It's all been documented. Now we're re-releasing things, and, like, do we need to know? Like, we know, and it's amazing. It's fucking, like, because you can't get better if you don't know where you've faulted in the past. But I feel like a lot of these releases are not for the correct reason of trying to better the position moving forward. They're released for specific gain of money. They're releasing for sensationalism. They're making people say things like it's so good we release this. Okay, I'm with you. Why? Like, are we talking about historical movie documentary, movie pictures? If this is the number 2 ever, and in the timeline of how we documented pictures and took them in 24 frames a second and used them on a camera and exposed them to light specifically by hand. Like, is that what we're talking about? Because cool. But if we're talking about because Jean is saying 2 black people kissed, it was recorded and no one heard about it. And now we hear about it. Thank God. So you need to understand your preface and the timeline we're talking, John.
Okay.
Because my hot button issues are like, no, motherfucker, no one gets a goddamn free pass. And that is bullshit. If it's so good, but why? Why is it good? Because all it says is that we're fucked. If you're saying that from a progressive standpoint of, yes, we know it was horrible, and here's more proof, and here's this, because that was way back when. Like, oh, we haven't even thought about segregation. We haven't even thought about Jim Crow. We haven't even thought about
we're in Reformation at this point.
Plessy versus Ferguson. We haven't thought about any of those things, man.
Yeah.
And so now, it just makes me, because
I think I'm on the same page as you. I think you just got a bit defensive with it. I'm very much looking at this as a historian.
No, I'm defensive, but I need you to expound more on why. I'm like, why are you saying that? Because when you say these broad general, like, this was good, and it was so glad we found it before it was lost. And here's the thing, like, okay, but literally you're reading things, but what do you feel? That's why I'm asking you. What do you fucking feel, John? Because you're reading shit right now, and you're not, and that is why I'm taking umbrage.
Okay.
That's why I'm taking umbrage.
So this, looking at the topic title, we're looking at first kisses. And so I'm excited to look at these different first kisses throughout history that have been recorded. And we're going to continue further with those, and I'm going to talk more about those. And so it's all looking at the lens through a first kiss.
Oh, so I'm with it. So you're excited because for this podcast, you could find the first people who are black kissing on film that you can reference. So that's the only reason you're excited about.
And the first
that was recorded. No.
Right. Yeah.
I know.
Exactly.
It was that was hidden, that was found. So you're excited because you can now reference this in the story. Okay, good. Yep. No, I know where you are. Wow.
Yep.
I feel sad for you, but like that is aggressively makes me sad. But okay, I'm ready for the next. Keep going.
Great. So on the morning of 14th of August, 1945, patients burst into Greta Zimmer's Manhattan office claiming the war in Japan was over. The Austrian immigrant wasn't quite sure what to think, so on her lunch break, she went to Times Square in her white dental assistant's uniform to see what the news ticker said. The atmosphere there was celebratory, and the ticker confirmed that it was indeed VJ Day, and World War II was over. As Zimmer looked away from the ticker, a Navy soldier named George Mendonza, who started drinking early and mistook Zimmer for a nurse, ran up and aggressively kissed her, leaving his girlfriend behind. Zimmer struggled to push the stranger off, and they parted ways. But unbeknownst to both of them, photographers Alfred Einstein and Victor Jorgensen had each captured the moment, as recounted in The Kissing Sailor, a mystery behind the photo that ended World War II. Zimmer herself said in an interview with the Library of Congress in 2005, quote, "It wasn't my choice to be kissed. The guy just came over and kissed or grabbed." End quote.
Right. 2005. And turns out in 2022, she says, I want to press charges because if Harvey Weinstein can go away, so can George the sailor who got me in Times Square. But it turns out, John, he's dead. So no harm, no foul. Turns out there is a statute of limitations. Death trumps all.
Next, when William Shatner and Nichols kissed in the 1968 episode of Star Trek, it was one that seemed to have the most cultural impact of an interracial kiss on film. Plato's Stepchildren, which first aired in November 22nd of 1968, depicted the white captain kissing his black female pilot.
So you're talking about a different show after you talk about Shatner and Star Trek, and you're trying to reference it to.
No. The episode name was Plato's Stepchildren. It is Star Trek.
Oh no. Okay. So you're describing a white captain that you already said is William Shatner.
Yep.
And Nicole Nichols, who is black. So you are now describing like a white captain kisses his black counterpart. I thought you were being bad at communicating. You're saying the same thing you just said. Okay, gotcha. No, good. What does the poster look like? Because I feel like you're reading off the poster. What does that look like? What is that a question, man? If I can ask some questions.
Well, do you have the thought of the sailor kiss in mind, with his hand wrapped around and all that, and her bent back? Such an iconic kiss. Do you have that in mind?
What are you talking about?
We're going back to World War II. Yeah.
Oh no, that was the first one I was going to talk about, because I was going to talk about it was going to be a great joke about the whole Me Too movement. It was like, but all the things you're not picking up into the funny and supporting them. So it turns out to be a rant about crazy that is all true, but you're not helping. So I didn't want to go there. So yeah, no, I know about that. I thought you said pirate. And I was like, are you talking about a pirate kiss? Because that's raping and pillaging, John. Like that is a different category, and that is something we'll talk about in the next episode of the twosidedpod@gmail.com. That's TWO-sidedpod@gmail.com. If you like what you've seen, if you can't believe that John is still reading from a script and not filling in the words and the goddamn through lines, because the pen is mightier than the sword, but apparently the keyboard is lacking from the pen's ability. Folks, hit that subscribe, hit that like. Don't be afraid to send John a message of support, because he needs all he can get. You fucking clowns, you come to my goddamn house. You do all these fucking things, John. Nobody needs it. Now he has cancer.
And finally, during the Cold War, leaders of the communist states often greeted each other with what was called the socialist fraternal kiss. This could be on the cheek or on the mouth, but the most famous example is the French photographer Regis Bassau's 1979 picture of the Soviet Union's Leonid Brezhnev and East Germany's Erich Honecker kissing on the mouth. The kiss occurred when Brezhnev visited East Berlin to celebrate the 30th anniversary of the German Democratic Republic, also known as East Germany. They kissed on the mouth, and this was their first kiss.
Yeah, that's a very European, Middle Eastern thing to do. Like, people hold hands. It's just a sign of respect, affection. It's not. We have bastardized it because I'm saying you and I have watched Heavy Metal, the cartoon, Heavy Metal 2001. We both have a photographic mind of the Kama Sutra, and so it's all sexual instead of just a term of affection. It's agape instead of this is where I start losing my vocabulary, folks. But it's going to hit me like a ton of bricks, and then all my other jokes will flow through. It's like having a backed up colon. Once you get the first joke out, they all come through. I got to get that pen ready.
Is it Fila? off of Philadelphia.
Fila, agape, and I want to say Frank Sinatra said that's amore, but I think that's not correct.
That would be Dean Martin. Yeah.
No, but Frank Sinatra said he did the 3 trifecta: agape, file, and amore. Hey, a pizza pie, motherfucker. And I said, you're ripping off Dean Martin. He said, I got friends in Vegas. Anyway.
So that image of the 2 leaders of Russian USSR kissing on the mouth, one being much more aggressive, very much like the sailor kissing what he thought was a nurse, very aggressively, and she's saying, I didn't accept it. I wasn't there for it. So when the Berlin Wall came down in 1989, the Soviet artist Dmitry Vrublev recreated that image on a mural on the wall's east side. He captioned it, quote, "My God, help me to survive this deadly love."
Which is great because the things that art is going to break down any cultural barrier. It's going to be the through line. It's going to be the sledgehammer, right? Sometimes you need to go hard to get through. Like, it's so in your face. It's so absurd that people have to take notice, but they're not taking notice because it's trash. They're taking notice because, like, whoa, they're thinking about it. They're talking about it to their friends. Like, what does that mean? It's just like that whole film of Trump and Biden having sex. If you see, it's like it's a vine, but it shows penetration. And I know, but it's just a thing that's going to break the wall. Like, we're going to take that southern wall down. We're going to let immigrants in collectively. Great, because honestly, I have to say, I know people are smuggling shit in. I know that. That's great. But there's way worse people who are here already than who need to come in and get help. And that's my thing. It's like, yeah, there will be bad people. There will be drugs. There will be this. But God damn it. Have you met my neighbors? Oof. I can't call ICE because they're fucking locals. This is bullshit. And that's a horrible joke, too. Jesus Christ, I shouldn't even say that, John. See, it's funny when I can say Jesus Christ, but I can't say ICE.
So as we wrap up this final segment, Pete, what was your first kiss?
It was in a very uncomfortable place, John.
The back of a Volkswagen?
Something like that. Anyway, how was yours?
Mine was with the president of the drama club at that time. She drove me home from my freshman little party, and she smelled of like Cheetos and chili in some sort.
Jesus Christ. I feel like this is like, she was like, well, I teach drama and girls gym, and I'm also the head of the drama club. So, John, would you like a ride home? She was 47, had a sweater.
She was a senior. It's only 3-year difference. It's fine.
No, she literally had a house full of cats and a sweater full of used Kleenex. She's like, I'll drive you home, John. Of course she smelled like chili and Cheetos, bro. That's what was in her pockets. You bring anyone, and here's a fucking PSA for anyone out there. You open those individual Cheetos bags. If you have chili, which I don't know if you deal in pocket chili. I deal in pocket chili. But if you find a little bit of chili, you throw it in that Cheetos bag, pick that shit up. So good. So good.
So good.
Chili Cheeto, first kiss burrito is what John says all the time.
It's a little bit of home every time I eat one.
Ooh, and a hush fills the room. Folks, if you like the horrible stories, the things that will keep you up at night, more than the things that go bump in the night, I beg of you, I pray to the... No, I don't do that. But hit that like, hit that subscribe button. Don't be afraid to tell your friends, tell your parole officer, tell your goddamn priest, because this is the worst thing you've done all week. It's time for confession.
So I just want to point out the sources for this episode of Two Sided. The first segment, windandbubbles.org. Oh wait, no, that was what Pete was doing. All right, www.oldest.org, Britannica.com, BusinessInsider.com, archive.globalpolicy.org, and foreignpolicy.com. For the last segment, history.com, howstuffworks.com, dating.lovetoknow.com, and finally, prnewswire.com.
Jesus Christ, John. So I would like to go ahead and give a shout out to my sources today. That would be the Guinness Book of World Records, 1987 edition. Shout out to Guinness, the beer in the book. Also, God damn, I had a great run there. I would also like to thank my Lord and Savior, John L. Peacock, bring me back from the... Well, I mean, the Savior, because he's saving my spot in his house. I'm going to be there. We're going to do a two-sided pod in New York, in Brooklyn, within the next year. I predict... some say I'm a swami, some say I'm a shaman, some say I'm just a big fucking asshole. But I predict in the next year, from 4/7/22 before 4/7/23, I will be in New York doing a live show. It's going to be awkward. It's going to be aggressive. Police will be called. And we're going to dox ourselves. We're going to figure out how... No, we're not. Like that. That's a waste of time. But literally, we could probably look out your window and call the cops for any of the other 10 commandments that are being broken. Folks, because we are religious and we are law keepers, we know how to break them or bend them and stay on the good side. No, I got nothing. I can't bring it back. I had 3. I had a good 3. It was a good solid. I got nothing, John.
Well, then I think we should have a shot.
I think we should. See, the problem is I start drinking too much. Well, no, there's no such thing. I drink to a certain point, and then all of my note-taking skills are gone. And it's like, I'm like, Jennifer! I'm like, can you read that back to me? And I realized we fired her 5 months ago.
A long time ago.
No, it's been a minute. And
she's been in Australia. Like, she's gone.
No, she works for another company, and I guess just like Snowfall, me and Aussie Dave are going to have to go to war for who our assistants are. Cheers, mate.
Cheers.
Bang, bang, bang.
Cheers to all listening. My boy Pete, as we're heading out, is there anything from this episode that you'd like to take a second look at, a second glance, a second opinion at? This is Pete's Retraction Corner.
Horrible. First off, I would like to take a second look in the mirror. Try to do better next time. I was like, turn the hat around. That would be good. Like, yeah, but then you start looking at yourself like, you squint a lot when you're drunk. Like, are you blind? Can you not? Like, you have glasses on. I would like to take a second look at my costuming, because Cobra Kai. I said, sweep the leg. Do you have a problem with that, Sensei? No, I do not, Sensei. Perfect. And then also Bobby Johnny, get him. Bobby Johnny, get him. That's all I have to say about Cobra Kai. I would also like to take back anything of the Eastern European accents that I have done, except for German. I stand by my German because that's still funny and pertinent. But I would like to take back any other Eastern European. I'm not going to name names because we don't use the names of people who should not be named. We don't want to give fame to the nons. And so I did, and I retract that, and I realized that, and I was like, I literally wrote like, oh, we're going to call John. We're going to fucking yell at him later. And I was like, I kept on underlining, it's super great. So if all goes well, John won't be able to sleep tonight because he's going to be scared of what is going to fucking happen to him. Folks, if you're listening to this on an after broadcast on Spotify, on the Apple's, I don't even know what the words are. Podcast. Apple Podcast on the goddamn Wire. If you're going back and watching the Wire, because back in the day, that was the shit. If you had a pager, pretend you're listening to us on a pager. Or two-way, go for. I wish they had two ways too. Anyway, if you like this and you listen to it now,
the Nextel. Are you talking about Nextel?
Yeah, but it was Nextel, but they were two ways.
Nice, bro.
Yeah,
good reference.
No, I'm telling you, I've been watching Snowfall, and we're just to the point where pagers are badass. But you're like, I'm gonna finish season 5, and we're not to the two ways yet. We're not to the sidekicks. We're not to like, oh man, like the same with the Wire. But we're so good. It's so good, so good. Anyone listening? Watch Snowfall. Holy balls, fucking so good. So I retract those things, and I talked about the others, and also John. I wish you a good day.
I wish you a good day too. I appreciate that, man. I don't get those often. Thank you.
Yeah, you need them. Like, that's the thing. Is like, you need a non-sexual touch 4 times a day. You need a sexual touch 5 times a day. Well, I don't know what your therapist said.
I think is your therapist providing all of those sexual touches?
Do you know him?
Let's move on.
Dre?
Hey.
He said if I'm not, Dre the therapist said, if I'm not here, just run backwards through a field of corn.
It'll be the same thing.
Fucking shit, John. It would only be good if he was here, but send in this clip. 3, 2, 1. Here's to you, Dre.
But we hope you all have a good day as well. We appreciate you. We thank you for listening. And people need some positive reinforcement. So we feel we'd like to extend that to our greater audience.
Yeah, you know what, John? God damn, did we just almost come up with a catchphrase? Did you almost get out of the yelling match with me after this show? John. Don't make that face because you're going to ruin it. John, no, make the face, but don't talk. No, but not that face. Jesus, now you ruined it. Now it's on. Somebody hold my baby. I'm taking my earrings off.
Well, thanks for listening, everybody. We have our open chat show on the Stereo app every Tuesday. Same start time as tonight. So if you'd like to join us or want to throw some topics out there, email us twosidedpod@gmail.com. That's TWO sidedpod@gmail.com. And remember to join us on Stereo in the green room right now. We're going 5 minutes from right now, so that's 45 after the hour for after show wind down. That's a wrap for tonight. I'm John L. Peacock from Brooklyn, New York, currently in the dirty mitten of Michigan.
And I'm my boy Pete in Southern California, currently in a better state of mind.
And this was our show. You can listen to our shows wherever you get your podcasts. And you could also join us live on our YouTube channel, Two Sided Podcast, and on the Stereo app every Thursday, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern, as we talk about the two sides of life, the fun and the serious, here on Two Sided. Oh, man, this was a good one. I love you, Pete.
You had such a good run until you talked normally. I love you too, John, but you need to ruin. It's like, oh, man, like, God damn it. It's like you tucked your shirt in and you wore sandals and your slacks again. This is bullshit. was the same thing with the didgeridoo.
Serious here on Two-Sided. Oh man, this was a good one. I love it, Pete.
You had such a good run until you talked normally. I love you too, John. But you need a roof. Like, oh man, like, God damn it! It's like you tucked your shirt in and you wore sandals and your slacks again. This is bullshit.
Oh my God.
I was the same thing with the didgeridoo. You can cut that end out. You can cut my voice out at the end.
Serious here on Two-Sided.
Oh shit, we're still live. John, and this is how.
Such a good run until you talked normally. Wait, where's this?
We're live on YouTube. Stop going on YouTube.
It's like you tucked your shirt, you wore sandals and your slacks again. This is
I'm in the goddamn Matrix right now.
what's happening?